This is the heart. We're gonna pack it out and we're gonna eat it tonight. It's tiring. It's worth it. Hello and Yajong everybody. This is Yang with Wild Eats, and today we'll be focusing on a venison heart fried rice dish. To begin, we'll need a cutting board, a seasoned wok, which I'll show you in a later video, a kitchen knife, and it can be any kitchen knife as long as it cuts, as well as a spatula. And we'll get started with the garlic. What we'll do is we'll either pound the garlic down like this, or we could press the knife against the garlic. Either way, both will satisfy the peeling process. I just like to press the garlic. It just feels a little safer to me, but both should work just fine, as long as you're safe. You want to start mincing your garlic, and depending on how you want the fried rice to taste, you could either mince it finely or in bigger chunks. It's up to you. I'll leave it up to the individual who wants to cook their own dish. Since I've already washed all of the vegetables, I'll now get to the green onions, and I'll cut the roots off here. I'll also cut down the long ways of the stem, and then I'll half the green onions. The white parts of the stem generally aren't consumed by the majority of the population for some reason, but I love the taste and I love the aroma, so we'll add it in. We'll get started with peeling half of an onion, and we'll just take off the first layer. What I like to do to make smaller pieces is to cut horizontally twice and then vertically down the long ways of the onion. We'll move on to the carrots, and we'll make it the same size as we did with the yellow onions. It's all up to you. It's your dish. Next up, we'll be using cumin soy sauce and any type of oyster sauce, both of which can be found at the nearest Asian market. For some reason, I had misplaced my measuring spoons, and so I used this cup instead to measure the oyster sauce. It's about 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce and 1/3 cup of the soy sauce. Using a spoon or a fork or a wire whisk, anything that you might have on hand that'll help you mix. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to use day-old rice. If it's freshly made, it mixes in with all the liquid, it gets way too soggy. So we want to be able to use day-old rice, and what we do is we declump, as I'm doing right now, as much as possible, try to get every grain separated. And we move on to the best part of this dish, which is the heart. What we're going to do is we're going to have the heart and then clean out the inside. Once we clean that out, we'll pat it dry, and it'll be ready for more processing. Once dry, we're going to clean out the tougher parts of the heart, and we just want to cut them out like so. I'll proceed by removing the silver skin, or the tougher part of the outer layer of the heart. These are examples of some of the silver skin or the outer part of the heart. We'll toss that. Now we'll just slice the heart pieces into slices like this. All up to you. With half a venison heart, we usually yield about half of a pound of meat. So we'll get the soy sauce ready, 1/3 of a cup. We'll get about a half tablespoon of oyster sauce, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and about 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. We just let it swim in the marinade, mix it all around, make sure that every piece of meat gets a part of that seasoning. I rinsed some bean sprouts. We got the carrots. We got the garlic. We have the green onion. And we have the yellow onion. Now it's time to get this party started. We'll evenly coat 2 tablespoons of oil into the hot, piping hot wok, making sure that this meat gets spread out evenly as well. Then, depending on how cooked you want your meat, 2 to 5 minutes, 2 for a little more raw, 5 for fully cooked. We'll remove the meat to a different plate. We'll wash the wok, dry it, and then put 1 tablespoon of oil on high heat. Ensuring a well-oiled wok, we invite the eggs. After about a minute, the eggs are almost cooked, but this is when we want to be able to remove them so that they don't overcook. And once we removed the eggs, it's time to add in the rice. Again, to make sure that this is a piping hot wok that will introduce the rice, and make sure that we stir right away and we flip the rice as much as needed. We want to be very, very careful here. Add in the eggs and the venison. Stir frequently, flip as much as you want. After about 45 seconds on high heat, it's time to add the vegetables. So we'll get started with the carrots first, then the onions. We have the bean sprouts, the garlic. Let's stir and flip. Now we do this for another 45 seconds or so. And we'll add the sauce. If you can remember my emphasis on day-old rice, it's because when we start cooking the meat, the vegetables, and then adding the liquid, it starts to recook the rice and softens it up. Now if we used cooked rice, it'll make the rice too mushy, unless that's if you really like mushy rice, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's up to you. It's your dish. So we'll add a little bit of garnish of green onions and some sesame seeds. Top it off and sprinkle it on. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the bell if you want to see more content coming soon. Also, follow me on Instagram at wildeats_yang. Peace out, homies.